Yeah, so Leon S. Kennedy might be cooked. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about Resident Evil Requiem once more before the game comes out here in about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks really. We just got a new trailer at PlayStation State of Play a few days ago, showcasing some new gameplay snippets and some story details. We finally see Leon heading back to Raccoon City. We see him fighting some zombies in what seemed to be, Raccoon City, or maybe outside Raccoon City. We see him finally heading back to the police station where it all started 30 years ago. But really the most important thing we got out of this trailer is official confirmation that Leon is indeed infected. Ladies and gentlemen, we might have the death of Leon S. Kennedy before GTA 6. Okay, now look, really, I don't think I believe this, to be honest. Killing off Leon would be a major decision. Again, this is 30 years of lore and history that you can't just extinguish like that, you know? Now look, we also have what seems to be Sherry Birkins over the phone talking to Leon in this trailer, and she says something along the lines of 6 survivors of Raccoon City have all died from what they call this Raccoon City syndrome. Now, to be honest, I can't remember if this is something that, I don't know, us fans like dubbed this virus or if they actually said this, but she said something like this, okay? Leon being infected has been a theory even before like Leon was officially revealed, because again, Leon being in this game was kind of rumored for a long time. We go back to the very first trailer, we see Grace taking a look at some scans of what seemed to be infected people, just looking at the signs of the infection and like the symptoms of it. Then in another trailer, I think Leon's official reveal trailer, he's looking at similar scans on his computer. You take those two, you take the fact that Leon is wearing all black gloves, leather gloves, wearing a long big coat covering his neck, and yeah, one might assume that Leon is infected, and seems we were right. They give us a good look at his hand, and man, this man is not looking good. But this does raise one sort of question. If this Raccoon City syndrome affects people who were in Raccoon City the night everything went down, then that means characters like Jill, Claire, Ada, even Sherry would also all be infected. Jill might be an exception because she was already infected in Raccoon City, and I believe that's why Wesker was like, kidnapping her and, doing tests on her because she, was infected already. Leon has been infected before, but I believe that was with the Las Plagas plague, and that's something different than the Raccoon City syndrome. But still, characters like Ada, Claire, Sherry, they'd all be infected. What makes Leon different? Sherry doesn't seem to be concerned, and this seems like it's Sherry, right? The lab coat, the kind of blonde hair. We have no clue where Claire is. We have no clue where Ada is. And to be honest, I don't really have any doubt that they're going to appear in this game some way. But yeah, if Leon has this plague because he was in Raccoon City, then those characters also should have the plague, right? And would those characters also be dying as well? I don't know. I feel like it's just something to think of. With the information we have so far, we're just kind of putting together information, putting together clues to see what we can make up. I'm not the longest running Resident Evil fan, so maybe I'm missing some details. If so, I'm sure you guys can let me know. But yeah, like they said in the trailer, time is ticking. Leon is heavily against the clock, and it seems Grace might have some answers. She might sort of be the key to getting the cure. It seems in that aspect, Leon and Grace's stories will intertwine. We already know how they meet. We've already seen how they meet in that nursing home looking place. But I think, the question just remains exactly what leads them together, We're still missing some context there. I'm really excited to see how everything unfolds. They did state multiple times this is the final numbered game in the Resident Evil franchise. What does that mean exactly? Who knows? That remains to be seen. Though it probably does mean Leon and friends, all these other characters that we've known and loved for so long, the stories will probably be wrapped up in this game right here, even though we have not seen them in so long. They may have been in other media, animated movies, animated shows, even the live action ones, but they haven't been in anything new pushing the story forward. Everything's been taking place in the past. Leon has not been in a Resident Evil game since 2012. Claire, Jill, Ada, they all haven't been in Resident Evil games in so long. Chris, I believe he was in Resident Evil 8. I haven't played that one yet, but I do know he was in there. It's just crazy to think that they might wrap up everybody's story in this game right here. We could be wrong. Well, I could be wrong. I could just be assuming things because they're calling this the last numbered game. But I don't know. With what they're doing with Leon, it seems like they're trying to wrap things up here. And I still wonder, what is their plan after Requiem? Are they gonna go back to a new character? Are they gonna go back to Ethan? Maybe use Grace again? Because let's not forget, all of these characters are 50 plus years old, so they can't just keep using them over and over. They've already aged these characters up. I always mention that Resident Evil has not rebooted ever since it started. Everything's just been moving forward constantly. The only thing they've done really is, drop animated movies and shows that take place before the main timeline, I guess. Like Resident Evil Death Island took place in 2015 or 16, I think, something like that. And that movie came out in 2021, 2022. So yeah, not only am I excited for the game, but also just what the future has in store for us. You know, I'm wondering what they're gonna do with this franchise. But yeah, just want to hop on here, talk about the game a little bit. Last time before the game comes out, of course, while it's out, I'm going to be posting about it, posting gameplay of it and all that. So let me know your thoughts on this. And as always, if you guys enjoy the video, like it up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.